So today we're going to be modeling grid system in Tekla structures, and basically this is the grid system that I've simply modeled in Civil 3D drafting and annotation, and this is the basic grid. You can do this in AutoCAD, or you can follow along with me using this layout that I'm showing right on my screen. We have grid labels of A, B, C along the X up to F, and then along the Y we have labels of 1 up to 6 grid. So along the X we have spacings of 4,000, 4,500, 4,000, 2,500, 4,500, and 5,000. Units are in millimeters. Otherwise 4 meters, 4.5, 2.5, 4.5, and 5 in meters. The same in the Y direction, or the Y-axis, we have 4,000, we have 4,500, twice 4,500, and twice 5,000. And we have the grid leveling offset of 2,000 and 2,000 from all corners. That means that from this point to this point is 2,000, from this point to this point is 4,000. So this is the basic rectangular grid system that we are going to be modeled here in Tekla structure sooner. You can go ahead and start launching Tekla structure and then start a new model, or if you have already opened the Tekla structures and having a new model, I'm using version 2024, and this is what it looks like. I've labeled my project as new model X. Any name that you put to your model, it should be able to be shown up here, and where it is saved straight away should be able to be seen up here. By default, it takes you to this Tekla structure models folder in your C drive. This is version 2024, and this is what it comes with. And basically the grid system comes in two, with one intersection, that is the A and the one intersection. But the previous version would come up with some grids already set, rectangular grids that you would modify. If you check on the versions 2019, all those versions previously, they have some grids that are already set, but this one here is all the same. So we're going to edit these grids and they come up with a suitable grid, and that matches exactly this layout of our grid system that we're displaying right on your screen here. So the first thing you need to do straight away from this palette, this is a V1 3D, as you can see here. That means that the current view is a 3D palette, and after designing the grid, we are going to assign some views, and you'll be able to see how we're going to navigate through all these views. So you can maximize this to fit on the window just like that, and since it's the only grid, you can see it from here. The view is 1, or view 1, which is the 3D. So to open up the window for the editing of the grids, you can come to edit, and you have the grid system here, or you can double click on any of these grids. It will be able to show you this window, and you'll be able to edit the positions or the offset of grid from one grid to another from here along the X, Y, Z, and the offsets, and this, and from the origin as well. If you want to take away the grid from this origin, you can assign some values here to the origin, and then the drawing will be offset some distance away from this origin. If you can't select this grid, it means that the grid system down here had been turned off. So you have to turn it on, or put it in the grid shaded square, so that you can be able to select. Another way to get onto that editing window is to right click just anywhere on the window and then properties. You should be able to obtain this. But again, there's a shortcut that is Alt Enter, just like that, to bring you straight away to this the Windows properties for the grids. So like we have seen already up there, the settings from Civil 3D, we have our layout along the grids along the X, and we have 4,000, 4,500, 5, and so on. So if you come here, this is along the X coordinates. You can start entering these values. Enter 0 as your initial point, separated by space, not a comma, otherwise it won't work. Separated by space. Enter the first value 4,000, the next value space towards 500, space, the next value is 500, space, the next value was 500, space 5,000. So these are the grids that are going to be running along the X, and then along the Y we have 0. What is the next? What are these ordinance? The dimensions 4,000. Then we have twice for 500 and twice 5,000. I don't need to minimize this because I need to navigate through it faster. Then 0, the first value. Then we will enter this. You start from down with this value. You don't start with this value, otherwise you will get a different layout for your grids. 4,000, the next value is 4,500, 4,500. Or the way you can put this, because it is a repetition, you put 2, then asterisk 4,500. This will bring 4,500 twice, and again we had 5,000 twice. Put 2 asterisks, 5,000. Or let's just put this 5,000 twice so that you can see what I'm talking about. 5,000. So this is along the Z axis. In other words, if you have this plane, and then you have this vertical plane, you can see here we are going to have first at 0, then next at let me just say 6,000, then the other one shall be at 12,000. That means that my first story is going to be at 6 meters. Then the next from the ground or from 0 is going to be 12 meters. If you have another one, you can put 18,000. Just depends on the number of stories you're working on. And then these are the labels. We have A, and which is A, B, C, D, E, F. That along the X, that is A, B, C, D, E, and F. Then 1, 2 up to 6. So we have A, B, C, D, E, and F. They are as well spaced using space, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is along the Y, and then along the Z. Okay, you can see here that it is 0 plus or positive 0, and then space, we put positive 6, which are these values, then space, and then positive 12 meters. What this positive here means, it means that the grid system is going along the z axis upwards or in a negative way. A positive way. So if you put negative, it means that you're going downwards of the grids. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And this is the offsets, and then that is above and left. Then also we have origin, which is at 0, 0, 0. That means that if you put certain value along the x here, say 5 meters, it will offset the grid starting 5 meters away from the origin along the x. If you put 5 meters along the y, it will start 5 meters somewhere here away from the origin. And then if you put 5 meters positive along the z, it will start 5 meters above the origin. But by default, this is okay. So this 2000, let me first show you in 3D. This is that means that from this point to this point along the x we have 2000, and from this point to this point along the y, along the x we have 2, and from the y we have 2000, which I've just shown it here. That means from this point to this point we have 2000, and from this point to this point we have 2000. And this is by default 2000. You can put any value that you want depending on the scale and the size of your work. You will be able to change these values correctly. So by doing so, just modify, you should be able to see your grid already laid. So this is exactly the grid system. I can choose to close here, because if I want to get back, just Control Alt and Enter, should be able to get that editing window straight over there. Now again, when you're in this window, you will want to rotate the 3D, because this is the only 3D as for now, which is a single 3D. You can click on Control and then center of the mouse, or that rolling button. You play around with it, should be able to rotate along the grid, and it is rotating along the point where you select it. Let's say if I select on this point, this is why it will rotate the 3D along that point, or the center of rotation where I pick it. If I pick it from here, to rotate along that center. Pick it at this point, to rotate along the center. Pick it at the center, and then it rotates along that area where you select. So you can see that the grid system is not fitting into our modeling panel. So the right way to do this, right click and fit work area to the entire model. Just that's what it does, and then it puts you within the working area. It fits the grid entirely around the working area. So the next thing that we are going to do is, let me first show you, before I go for that, let me show you how you can play around this grid. So if you select a single grid, it will be able to show you the dimension between one point and another. If I select this, it means that the distance from here is 5000, but then from here up to here, it's 23 meters. If I select this, it will show me the ones that is along the Z, along the Y. 4000, 4500, and this was 2 meters, 2.5, 4000, and then that. And then if you select at the end, it usually gives you the whole distance from here, which is F. I want to check on F. Yeah, which is 20.5 meters. Now this is to do with the checking for the dimensions, but again you can come here to edit, measure along the horizontal. You can choose to measure from this point to this point. You click here, should be able to give you. I think this is not along the horizontal. Let me rotate this. Yeah, this is how it is. If I redo that, edit, measure along the horizontal, that means that the point from here to here, I click outside, should be able to give me that dimension. Here to here, click outside, it gives me here to here, it gives me that. Here to here, it gives me that. And along the vertical, this and this, click here, it gives you that. This and this, it gives you that. This is how you can do the labeling of or the dimensioning of this. Otherwise, if you want to get rid of this, you right click and redraw view to be able to remove the dimensions there. So the next thing, I want us to come up with the views so that it will be able for us to navigate through all those views along the grids. What you do, click on the grid, right click and create view. What you do, you create a view along the grid lines. Once you click on that, it will be able to give you this grid system here. You can decide to change this grid, just say elevation at grid, or you can leave it as default here because we already here we already have grid elevations, plan elevations, and so forth. Create. The grid system will be created. Now, if you check on the visible view beside, and we have the named views, that means these are the views that we already have. But there's only the 3D view by default, the visible view that can be seen. What you do, you import or move the grids. You can select all of them and move them to the visible view side, so that if you come to Windows, you'll be able to see all of them here. These are all the grid views. Or you can choose a few, take this and back and use and have only these 3 views that can be seen here. But for easy navigation, just select everything, put it on the visible view, close, close, close. And what this will tell you is that every time you want to select a grid or an elevation that you want to work with, just come to Windows and select the elevation that you want to work with. Now, currently, we are on grid 4, 7th view, and this is level 0, level 6 meters, level 12 meters. That means from here to here 6, from here to here is 12 meters. This is along the Z axis. If you come to view, and then you have the views, the views here, you'll be able to see the same editing window where you want some specific division around here. You can minimize this, and there are very many ways you can view so many elevations at a go. We have the cascade. This is where you see all the views, and then we have tile horizontal. This is where you see all the windows, but bear in mind that you are only limited to this number. Any number above 9, the views may not be shown. They will be there, but only the 9 that can be shown on the window. So you can clear all views or tile vertical. This is all the same. And if you want to maximize one, just click on maximize button, and you'll be able to see this. Dimensioning, I've already shown you how to dimension that. And the navigation is always the same. You want to zoom in, the rolling button between your mouse. You want to pan, you know what to do with the 3D and so forth, and select the necessary grid that you want. And again, based on the arrangement here, currently let me select 3D. If you want to move to the next elevation as shown here, there's a shortcut, Control Tab. Control Tab will move you all along the grid. Now see that every time you move to another grid, it will be shown here, the grid view and the grid line. So that's it for today. If you've enjoyed this video, kindly show an appreciation by subscribing or liking and sharing this content. See you in the next.